Hi, everyone. Peter Lynch here. We're going to shift gears a little bit today, and we're going to do some classroom training, right, using my makeshift whiteboard here. So we have one at home for my 5-year-old. So I didn't think I could use that one, so I figured we'll use this one here in the office. So what I want to talk about today is new math, right? How numbers make sense. I don't know how my kids do the math, but this new math is a little bit different. It has to do with the financial markets, has to do with your account balances and the rates of return you get, and when you get those rates of return. So what I want to talk about today is just using, for a round example, round numbers, $1 million. Okay. So if we had $1 million, hopefully you can see all this stuff here, and it went down 30%. That's still old math, right? 30% of $1 million is 300,000. We're left with $700,000. That's pretty simple. And over here, February 19th to March 20th, that's what the market went down. Whether it was the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, all three of them pretty much were around 30% of a decline, right? So in a 30-day period, 1 month, it went down 30%. And most of you have felt that. Most of you have seen that. And probably you're getting statements from March right now, and you're going to start seeing the real quantitative value, or the dollar value of what that went down. But what I want to talk about now is, if this went down 30%, this is where a lot of people don't understand the new math, I guess you would say. What do you need to make to get back to $1 million? Like, what percent do you need to make on your accounts? And I'll pause for a minute and let you guys think about that stuff, right? So the obvious answer is, well, if it went down 30, goes back up to 30, we're square, right? No, because 30% of 700,000, if it goes up 30% in the next 30 days, that's only $210,000, right? 70 times 30%, 700 times 30%. You're at 910,000. You're still not at $1 million. So really, the real answer is 43%. It has to go up. 43%. So if you go down 30, which we just did, and everybody kind of experienced it together, we need 43 to get back to where we were. So that gets a little bit tricky when you're starting to think about, wait, that's going to be a little bit longer than I thought. Can I get 43% in the market over the next 30 days? Highly unlikely, but I'm not sure. Now, let's add to that. We have to take distributions. Say you just retired within the last 12 months. This has been your nest egg, and you felt, hey, we'll take 5% out of that in addition to maybe our Social Securities and our pensions. What impact will that going to have? Is that going to have on our portfolio? Well, 5% of $1 million is $50,000, not unreasonable. We take that out at the beginning of the year, and we have that for the rest of the year in addition to our other income sources. That sounds fair. So if we take out $50,000 at the beginning of the year, put it in the bank account, and we need that for the next 12 months, and the market went down 30%, right? Quick math, $650,000. All right, all that is now is 35% down. So if 30% down, we need 43 to go up. What would 35%? Now, we only took out 5%. I mean, that's pretty harmless, right? In a portfolio, especially when you're pulling money out, that should be somewhat safe. So another 30, add to the 30%, we have 35%. We have to do 54% to get back to $1 million. 54%. That's crazy, right? And again, we'd love to do that in the next 30 days. I don't know if we'll do that or not. But just think about it. Say we do get back this time next year, 54%. Well, we got to take out another 5%. You need $50,000 a year to supplement what you're doing in retirement. So if it does get back to $1 million, you might say, okay, I'll take that 50,000 out, another 5%. But what if it doesn't? What if it stays in the 700 range? And you want to take $50,000 out on that? That's a pretty big chunk. That's not 5%. And now you start seeing your portfolio decrease. So either you make the decision saying, well, let's not take 50 this year. Let's only take 30. And now your retirement picture is not really what you thought it was going to be. You thought that that extra 50,000 will help you do all the things that you wanted to do in retirement. You waited this long for retirement, and within 30 days, your plan may have taken a drastic turn. Okay, so this is called sequence of return risk. This is one of those silent killers in retirement. Most people just think, hey, and again, we're all guilty of it. The market's been doing great for the last 6, 7, 8 years. So it continues to go up. It's not that difficult to get double-digit returns, except when something like this happens. And now we got to hit the pause button and say, wait a minute, maybe we need to figure something out differently, because what got us here to retirement is a lot different than what's going to get us through retirement. Because of this, we are taking money out of these accounts. That's what the whole purpose of these accounts were. Again, whether you're taking it because you want to and you're supplementing your income, or maybe you have to take required distributions and the government's making you take them, that money's coming out. So when you take money out and the accounts go down, that's double whammy. You may never make that money back again. There's a big risk that this 700 may never go back to the $1 million. All right. And part of protecting for that, the solution is to set up and bucket plan your assets. Have your now monies, which is going to be the next year or two. Where is that now money coming from? That stuff's not going to be in the market. And then where is going to be our soon money? That's going to be money we're probably going to need in the next 10 years. Where is that coming from? And then you have the later bucket. The later bucket, it's fine for this to do that in the later bucket because we're not taking this out. If my later bucket goes from 1 million to 700, that stinks. My statements look terrible. I'm not really feeling too great about it. However, I don't need that money for 10 years. Okay, I have time for that to recover. Market cycles are cyclical. I think that maybe I reallocate a little bit, maybe not. Maybe I wait for it to come back a little bit and then figure out what I want to do with it. I don't need it this year. I don't need it next year. I don't need it the next couple of years. But this chunk here, if you needed $50,000 a year for the next couple of years, that's a big chunk to be taking off the $700,000 now. And that's really going to alter your retirement plans. So that's called sequence of return risks. The way that we prevent that is to make sure we have the stuff laid out in the bucket plan, the now bucket, the soon bucket, the later bucket. And again, most people have a now and they have a later. Everything else is in the later. And they just figure, okay, I'll just take money. I'll take dividends. I'll take interest. I'll take the earnings that I make on it. And that was a good plan for the last 5 or 6 years. If you had $1 million and you were making 10% on it, hey, let me take out 100,000. I'm going to use 50 to live on. I'm going to buy another boat for the other 50, whatever it might be. But those days may not be here going forward. So what happened in the past, right? Past performance is no indication of future results. That's exactly what's happening here. So give me a call, email me, set up a virtual meeting if you want to talk through this a little bit more, if it was a little bit confusing. But the reality is when you're taking money out, you really don't want to have money that's going to be subject to something like this, 30%. You can't afford that because you don't have the time to make that back. Okay, hopefully that was helpful for you. We'll do a couple more of these trainings on some other topics, but on this particular topic, this one is very relevant right now because you're going to be seeing your statements and see, wow, that was a big deal. So let's talk about maybe reallocating possibly, or some solutions that maybe we can implement so we don't have to go through this again, this scenario, because this may happen again. It may continue to go down. I don't know. Nobody has a crystal ball, so we really need to protect what we have. Okay, that's it for now. God bless and have a good day. Thank you.